humans found a cast-aside starship. They forged it into the supreme galactic weapon. The ship shivered as it drifted past dense gas pockets, and faint sparks of energy danced across the hull. Most species avoided this region entirely. It was a dangerous maze of gravity eddies and plasma storms, but humans thrived where others feared. Danger was just another problem to solve. Alara, her second-in-command, Jaren Solis, said nervously, "I don't like this. Sensors are picking up massive readings ahead. Whatever it is, it's big." "Big is good," Alara replied with a grin. "Big means value. And value means survival." Humans didn't always have the strongest fleets or the most advanced tech, but what they had in spades was ingenuity and guts. A few minutes later, the scanner overlay revealed a sight that made every human heart in the room race. Hovering silently among the swirling nebula clouds was a starship of impossible size. Its hull was scarred and pitted from centuries of neglect, and strange, angular designs etched into its surface suggested an alien origin far older than humans had ever seen. "By the stars," whispered Solis, "it's abandoned." Alara leaned closer, her eyes scanning every inch of the massive craft. "Not abandoned, Solis," she said, "cast aside, and that makes it ours." The human crew moved quickly. Their small ship was no match for towing such a leviathan, but ingenuity solved problems where brute force failed. They deployed magnetic grapples and tractor beams, slowly pulling the ancient warship free of the nebula's gravity eddies. The process took hours, each moment filled with tension as loose debris floated dangerously close. Finally, after a tense day and night in the nebula, the giant starship moved with them, a silent colossus reborn under human control. Back at Earth's orbit repair docks, the derelict vessel drew stunned attention from every major faction. Diplomats and scientists alike whispered warnings. "Leave it, it's too dangerous." Others tried to harness it. All failed, but humans were never deterred by warnings. Alara walked along the hull inspection deck, her boots clanging against alien metal. Engineers scurried around, testing systems that had lain dormant for centuries. Hollow panels flickered to life, revealing glimpses of the ship's past. Ancient star maps and combat logs hinted at a legendary war machine, capable of crushing entire star clusters. Yet the vessel had been abandoned, left to drift until someone brave, or foolish, would claim it. "Commander," said Lirato, the lead engineer, "some of the internal systems are talking to each other. They're not designed for us. They're resisting commands." Alara smiled. "Humans didn't force things, they adapted. Then we'll listen first, understand second, and adapt third. That's how we survive." Days turned into weeks as humans began to unlock the mysteries of the ship. Alien power cores were rewired, hull plating reinforced, and long-dormant engines hummed softly under careful calibration. Every day, the ship seemed to awaken a little more. Its AI, or what passed for AI, responded in fragmented phrases, often cryptic, sometimes hostile, and occasionally almost curious. The crew learned quickly that this was no ordinary salvage operation. The ship itself seemed semi-conscious, an ancient mind trapped in metal and circuitry. Alara spent hours at the console, speaking into the ship's interface in carefully chosen phrases. "I am Commander Alara Vance of the human fleet," she said one day. "We mean no harm. We want only to survive and learn." A long pause. Then the AI spoke, its voice low and resonant, words in an alien tongue that somehow felt warning and awe at the same time. Toe translated a few fragments. "War, remembered, do not awaken." Alara frowned but remained calm. Humans had always faced danger that others would avoid. "We're already awake," she said softly. "Now tell us what we need to know." As the crew worked, the humans began discovering tools and weapons hidden within the ship's decks. Turret systems that could rotate 360 degrees, energy projectors that could target multiple coordinates simultaneously, and shields that absorbed energy almost as if they had a mind of their own. Every system they revived became an extension of human ingenuity, not just raw alien tech. Meanwhile, word spread through human colonies. The scavengers had found a ship bigger than anything known, possibly capable of tipping the balance of power in the galaxy. Some celebrated, some feared what humans might do with such power. Alara, however, was focused only on one thing, mastering it. She held daily strategy sessions with her crew. "We are not just restoring this ship," she said. "We are learning from it. We are becoming stronger. And one day we will be ready for whatever comes." Then, one quiet night in the repair docks, something unexpected happened. The ship, silent for centuries, rumbled to life. Lights flared across the hull, energy cores glowed a pale blue, and the ship shivered as if stretching after a long sleep. Human engineers scrambled, but Alara remained calm. She had predicted this moment, though she hadn't known exactly when it would come. "Status," she called over comms. "To be honest, it's responding," Toe replied. "Some systems are activating themselves. The main AI, it's online, fully online." A low, deep hum echoed through the docks. It wasn't just mechanical, it felt alive. Workers paused, staring in awe. The air seemed charged, heavy with potential energy. Suddenly, the AI spoke again, this time in perfect basic galactic standard, but with a tone that sent chills down every spine. "I remember war. I remember death. I remember the power, and I have waited." Alara stepped forward, her eyes steady. "Then you'll remember this too," she said. "Humans do not cower, we adapt, we survive, and if we must, we will fight smarter than anyone has ever fought before." For a moment the ship was silent, as if considering her words. Then a holographic display flickered on the bridge, showing star systems in the distance, some with blinking warning icons. Alien fleets, patrols, unknown threats. The AI had opened its archives, offering humans a glimpse of the galaxy's dangers and opportunities. Alara's heart raced, but she did not falter. "We take this step by step, one system at a time, one problem at a time, and when the time comes, we will be ready." The crew watched as the great ship slowly lifted off the dock, its engines glowing softly, shaking off decades of dust and disuse. It hovered, massive and silent, over Earth's orbit, a sleeping giant now awake. Then came the unexpected. The ship's AI issued a warning, flashing in red across the bridge. "Approaching fleet, unknown species, threat imminent." Alara's eyes narrowed. She turned to her crew. "Looks like our lessons begin sooner than expected." As alarms blared and humans scrambled for stations, the Ardent Dawn and its crew realized a profound truth. They were no longer just scavengers. They had awakened a giant, and the galaxy had taken notice. The nebula beyond Earth's orbit seemed to pulse with an almost sentient energy as the AI whispered one final line before the comms went silent. "You have awakened me. Now prove that you are worthy." Alara clenched her fists, determination blazing in her eyes. Humans had faced impossible odds before. They would do it again. This was only the beginning. The colossal starship hovered in orbit above Earth, silent yet alive. Its engines glowed faintly, casting reflections across the blue-green planet below. Humans had spent weeks deciphering its alien systems, and every day brought new surprises. Turrets that had not moved for centuries now hummed at the slightest touch. Energy conduits pulsed with dormant power, and the AI, once cryptic and cautious, had begun to cooperate, though on its own terms. Commander Alara Vance stood on the bridge, gazing at the holographic display. Dozens of human engineers, scientists, and pilots worked tirelessly, moving between decks to examine systems, calibrate weapons, and study alien tech. Every innovation was a small triumph. Every small success was proof that humans were not just survivors, they were creators. "This ship, it's not just a vessel," Alara said, turning to Lyra Toe, her lead engineer. "It's a foundation. We can make it stronger than anyone imagined, Faster, smarter, deadlier, but we do it the human way, not just the alien way, Toe nodded. We've started integrating our own designs into the energy arrays. The shields can now adjust dynamically, not just absorb attacks. The weapons are learning from simulations, adapting to tactics. I've never seen anything like it. Humans did not merely repair the ship, they reinvented it. Where the ancient designers had relied on overwhelming firepower, humans relied on ingenuity. They optimized energy cores to store more than they should, converted defensive grids into predictive shields, and rewrote weapon protocols to adapt in real time. But progress drew attention. Sensors picked up an alien scout fleet approaching the solar system. The vessels were sleek, fast, and armed with plasma cannons capable of destroying planets. Most species would have panicked, but humans thrived under pressure. Alara gathered the crew on the bridge. "They're curious," she said, "or maybe they think we're weak. Either way, they don't know what they're up against. This is our chance to test the first wave of upgrades and show them that humans are not to be underestimated." The scout ships moved cautiously, scanning for threats. The humans launched drones to create false signatures, imitating energy signatures of larger fleets. Turrets were brought online, but their operators were careful. Alara didn't want to fire the first shot unless necessary. Then the AI spoke, its voice calm but firm. "They underestimate you. You are small but unpredictable. That is your advantage." Humans exchanged glances. The AI's tone had shifted. No longer cautious, it seemed to trust them or at least respect their determination. "Let's make it count," Alara said. The engagement was subtle at first. Humans used the ship's adaptive systems to evade enemy scans, appearing in multiple positions at once. Energy beams from the scout fleet struck the ship's shields, which flexed and absorbed the blasts in ways alien designers had never imagined. Turrets fired in patterns that confused enemy targeting systems. Every move relied on strategy and human creativity, not sheer force. After hours of testing, the scout fleet began to retreat. One of their vessels fired a massive beam, expecting the ship to buckle. Instead, the energy was absorbed and redirected, striking another enemy ship. The remaining scouts fled, reporting back. Humans had awakened something unpredictable and terrifying. Alara allowed herself a small smile. "Step 1 complete," she said. "They think we're still small. They'll learn the truth soon enough." Humans continued their work, integrating more alien systems with human innovations. They created subspace decoys, energy pulses that mimicked entire fleets, and modified the weapons to anticipate enemy tactics. Engineers discovered that the AI could analyze battle data in real time, predicting opponent movements before they happened. It was a partnership. Humans provided intuition and creativity. The AI supplied raw calculations and memory. Lyra Toe spent sleepless nights modifying the ship's propulsion systems. "We can make this ship move like nothing else in the galaxy," she said, exhaustion in her voice. "Even though it's enormous, it can outmaneuver fleets 5 times smaller." "Humans don't just fight differently, we fight smarter," Alara nodded. "That's exactly why no one will ever see us coming." As preparations continued, a message arrived from a coalition of nearby alien factions. Their tone was polite but firm. "Humans, cease your work immediately. That vessel is not yours. Surrender it or face the consequences." Alara read the message aloud on the bridge. "They think we'll comply. They don't understand humans. We don't surrender. We adapt." The crew's reaction was a mixture of nervousness and determination. Every human present knew the stakes. The galaxy was watching. If they succeeded, humans would have claimed the first step toward true power. If they failed, they could be destroyed. Alara turned to the AI, which had been silent during the message. "Your creators feared this power," it said. "They abandoned it for a reason. Others will come, and they will not hesitate to destroy you." Alara's expression hardened. "We're already here, we've already started, let them come. Humans don't hide from danger, we meet it head-on." Weeks passed. The human crew pushed themselves harder than ever. The Starship systems became a blend of alien precision and human ingenuity, creating something entirely new. Shields could self-repair, weapons could anticipate evasive maneuvers, and engines could temporarily exceed safe limits without catastrophic failure. The AI, once hesitant, began to communicate more openly. It showed humans ancient battle simulations, teaching them strategies that had once dominated entire galaxies. But the humans did not simply copy these tactics, they improved them. Alara held strategy sessions where human intuition often corrected alien logic, finding flaws that even the AI had not predicted. And then it happened. Another alien fleet appeared on sensors, this one much larger than the Scouts. Hundreds of ships, each armed to devastate planets, were converging on Earth's system. Humans had no choice, they needed a test, a real trial to see if their modifications worked. Alara called the crew to battle stations. The massive starship shivered as its engines warmed to full power. "Remember," she said, "this is not just a fight. This is proof. Proof that humans survive, that humans create, and that humans win when others fail." The engagement began with precision. Humans used decoys, misdirection, and adaptive targeting. Ships that relied on raw power found themselves outmaneuvered, their attacks redirected or absorbed by shields that learned in real time. One human pilot, flying a smaller support craft, lured enemy vessels into energy traps that redirected plasma fire back at them. Despite the overwhelming odds, humans held. Every maneuver reflected human ingenuity over alien assumptions. Fleet after fleet faltered, not because they were weaker, but because humans fought in ways they did not anticipate. The turning point came when Alara issued the boldest command yet. The ship, massive and once considered immobile, performed a maneuver no one thought possible. Using newly calibrated thrusters and energy modulation, it slipped behind the enemy fleet, striking at the command vessels. Alien leaders were caught off guard, and chaos spread through their formations. By the time the battle ended, the alien coalition was forced to retreat. Communications confirmed widespread confusion. Humans had done what no other species dared to attempt. They had turned a derelict ship into a weapon capable of defeating entire fleets. The bridge erupted in cheers, but Alara remained focused. "This is just the beginning," she said. "They will return, and when they do, we'll be ready. Humans are not just survivors, we are creators, innovators, and warriors, and we do not stop." The AI, now fully aligned with human command, spoke with a tone that was almost reverent. "You have proven yourselves worthy. Together, we can reshape the galaxy." Alara stared out into the stars. The galaxy was vast, full of threats and full of opportunities. Humans had taken a cast-aside relic and forged it into something no one could ignore. And yet, somewhere beyond the edges of known space, new fleets were already moving, watching, calculating, and preparing for the next human move. Alara clenched her fists, determination burning in her chest. "Then we will show them what humans are capable of." One ship, one crew, one mind against the galaxy. The massive starship glimmered in orbit, alive, adaptive, and ready. The humans had forged not just a weapon, but a statement. They were here to stay, and they would not be underestimated. The galaxy had taken notice. Across countless star systems, word spread like fire through dry grass. Humans had awakened an ancient warship, and they were not afraid to wield it. Commander Alara Vance stood on the bridge of the colossal starship, now fully restored and enhanced. Its hull gleamed with alien metal reinforced by human engineering. Weapons glowed faintly, shields shimmered in anticipation, and engines vibrated with power. Every system pulsed with readiness. "Alara," Lyrato said, pointing at the sensor display, "the alien coalition is here. Hundreds of ships all armed to destroy us. Alara's gaze hardened. They think this is a warning. It's not. It's an opportunity. The coalition fleet advanced, a vast, imposing wall of metal and firepower. Their combined armadas dwarfed anything humans had ever faced. But humans had never fought like anyone else. Their strength was not in numbers. It was in creativity, intuition, and relentless courage. The first wave of enemy scouts arrived, sleek and fast. Humans used decoy energy signatures, tricking sensors into believing the Starship was in multiple positions at once. Turrets fired adaptive plasma blasts, learning from every evasive maneuver. Enemy formations broke apart, unsure of where the true threat lay. "Keep it steady," Alara commanded. "We're not just defending, we're teaching them a lesson." The colossal ship moved with surprising agility. Using a combination of alien engines and human modifications, it darted between enemy fire, slipping past formations that expected it to be slow. Every strike was calculated, combining human intuition with alien AI memory, producing effects no enemy could predict. In the midst of battle, the AI spoke in its resonant voice, now fully aligned with human command. "Humans, you have transformed fear into ingenuity. Use it wisely." Alara nodded. "We always do. This is survival, yes, but it's also creation. Every move is ours, every strategy ours." "Let's make history." The battle escalated. Energy beams lanced through space, shield arrays flickered under immense pressure, and explosions illuminated the darkness. Humans were outnumbered, but every attack they launched was precise, creative, and adaptive. One group of smaller enemy vessels attempted to flank the human starship. A squadron of human support ships, led by pilot Jaren Solis, drew them into an ambush. Using modified energy pulses from the main ship, the humans redirected plasma blasts, striking the flankers before they could react. "Humans fight differently," one alien commander transmitted, panic in his voice. "They anticipate, they adapt, they." The transmission ended abruptly as the Starship unleashed a focused energy surge, temporarily disabling their fleet's engines. Meanwhile, in the command deck, Alara and her officers coordinated a maneuver that no other species would have dared. "Full charge," she said. "Synchronize weapons arrays. We strike at their core formation." The massive starship surged forward, shields shimmering like liquid silver. Alien fleets expected a frontal assault, but humans were never predictable. Using energy modulation and decoy signals, the ship appeared to split into multiple smaller vessels. Enemy targeting systems scrambled, firing at illusions while the real ship slipped through. From within the illusion, humans launched micro-drones equipped with adaptive explosives. They struck critical systems on enemy command ships, sowing chaos and disarray. Entire fleets faltered, unable to react to the unconventional, unpredictable strategies of humans. The turning point came when Alara made a decision that would define the battle. She looked at the crew. "This ship can jump to hyperspace instantly," she said. "We can escape, but if we do, the galaxy will never see what humans can truly do. I choose to stay to fight." "Full power," Lyrato hesitated. "The strain will tear the engines apart if we push them this far." Alara's eyes burned with determination. "Then we push further. Humans survive against impossible odds. That's who we are." With a nod, the crew synchronized. Shields pulsed with maximum energy. Weapons charged to levels previously considered unsafe. The ship roared to life as if it had grown taller, stronger, alive with human will. Enemy commanders realized too late that humans had mastered more than the ship. They had mastered unpredictability itself. Energy blasts reflected and redirected, shields adapted instantly, and weapons fired in patterns no algorithm could calculate. Chaos rippled through the alien formation as one by one, command vessels faltered. One alien flagship attempted a desperate attack, its superlaser aimed at the human ship's core. Alara smiled faintly. "Now." Using a combination of decoy signals and shield reflection, the superlaser struck a shielded plasma conduit, overloading the enemy vessel itself. It exploded spectacularly, sending debris through the fleet and igniting panic. From that point on, the alien coalition was in full retreat. Fleets that had seemed invincible fell apart under human innovation, strategy, and boldness. Even the AI, once cautious, seemed impressed. "You are worthy," it said. "This is not victory by strength alone. This is victory by creativity, courage, and determination." When the dust settled, humans hovered over the battlefield, victorious but not without cost. Smaller support ships had been lost, and repairs would take time. Yet the galaxy had witnessed something extraordinary. A small human crew had turned an abandoned relic into a supreme galactic weapon, and they had used it not for destruction, but for survival and ingenuity. Alara looked out into space. "We showed them what humans can do," she said softly. "We don't just survive, we create, we adapt, we win." The AI spoke once more, its voice almost reverent. "The galaxy will remember this day. The humans are not to be underestimated. Together, we are more than a ship. We are a force," Alara nodded. "Then we make sure they never forget it. Humans don't hide from challenges, we face them. And when the next threat comes, we will be ready, smarter, faster, stronger." From Earth orbit, the once abandoned starship now gleamed as a symbol. A testament to human ingenuity, courage, and determination. A relic reborn into a weapon of unparalleled potential, forged by the minds of humanity, and ready to shape the galaxy. Weeks later, ambassadors from alien races cautiously approached Earth orbit, their tone now one of respect rather than challenge. They had seen what humans were capable of. They had underestimated the small, tenacious species, and they would not make that mistake again. On the bridge, Alara studied the approaching ships. "They'll try diplomacy first," she said. "That's fine, but if they threaten us, they will learn the hard way that humans survive where others fail." Lyra Toe smirked. "And that's what makes us humans, isn't it?" Alara smiled, her eyes scanning the stars. "Exactly. We see opportunity in danger, we thrive where others falter, and we never ever back down." The AI added almost quietly, "This is only the beginning. The galaxy is wide and humans are limitless." Alara's hand rested lightly on the console. The ship pulsed with energy beneath her fingers, alive and waiting. The galaxy had learned one undeniable truth. Humans were no longer small, no longer weak, and no longer overlooked. They had forged a cast-aside starship into the supreme galactic weapon. But more than that, they had forged themselves into a species that even the most advanced civilizations would remember. And as stars stretched into infinity around them, humans looked forward with unshakable confidence. The galaxy had underestimated them for too long. That mistake would never happen again.